Hey, I'm Rita Cook.
Terry Murphy.
And we are ECP-TV.
Yeah, making away.
So, okay, first off, there was a terrible storm today. Okay, wait.
Oh, he's still filming.
There was a terrible storm. There was a terrible storm today, and that's why my hair looks crazy.
It was a terrible
I don't know
storm.
what to say about him. He's wearing a hat
It was so bad.
that matches his shirt, and so Charlie is selling these hats for $12.99.
And he won't let me take the
This
tag
week
off. Yeah.
at the Super Electronics and IT sale. Unfortunately, there was a date that was made. That was a mistake on here. It's Saturday, June 24th, from 10 to 6. And
Serious. This is serious.
And he's going to be selling those hats too. And if you say you saw it on ECP-TV, he'll give it to you for $5.
Yes.
So, okay. So what all has he got? We talked about this last week. Lenovo desktop.
An Elite Desk 800G1.
Yeah.
Really
anyway, the thing is that you're saving up to 80% on selected models, and it's not third Saturday because it's actually there's already been 3 Saturdays. So usually he was going to do it trade days, but we just wanted to do this just specifically for this sale.
Yeah, I'm going to take these off. I can't see a darn thing.
Let me have them. I might need them.
Okay.
So in the paper this week, let's start out with.
Did we talk about the date better?
June 24th, this Saturday. If you're watching this right now and it's not the end of the month yet, it's this Saturday.
And if you look in the paper, it says 27th. It was a misprint.
Yeah, it's a misprint. Okay.
And do we want to talk about the Vestro computer that's $89? It's awesome.
Is it?
That's cheap.
The Vestro?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, I didn't even know
The Dell
that.
Vestro desktop,
Oh, okay.
$89. That's incredible.
How much does it usually cost?
I don't have any idea. It's got to cost a lot more than that.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really awesome.
Yeah, computers are expensive these days, so if you can get one like this, and Charlie's like really into computers, he's got 50 jillion of them around here, so he's getting rid of a few. So I know it's breaking his heart. Okay, so in the paper this week, let's start with your experience at this Wilmer City Council meeting.
Okay.
And you actually wrote the article.
Yeah, it was a really good council meeting, one of my first. Not very exciting, however. They're usually not, right? That's what I hear.
You hope it's not.
Right, but a lot of people were there talking about your friend.
Well, Rona Stringfeller, she's the city administrator in Wilmer, and there were some people, I'm not sure what was going on, but whatever the case may be, there were at least 9 people there that were just talking about how wonderful the staff is doing, and that includes Rona and the rest of the staff. So
yeah, they had nothing but good to say about her.
Yeah, the other thing that you came away with is about the truckers.
Yes. There's a fella there who's been in trucking his whole life, and he understands the logistics of it, and with all these new warehouses going in Wilmer, Ferris, and even into Palmer, and not just on 45 but all throughout that area. Each one of those warehouses is going to add hundreds of trucks on the road. These truckers are tired, they need somewhere to rest. It's going to cause a big problem if they don't address it now.
Yeah, and they were talking about trying to get federal funding for that.
Yep.
And then the one that we didn't get to do, Terry actually said he might start one called Terry's Trucking
Terry's
Stop.
Trucking. Kind of like Buc-ee's, but Terry's.
You know what was really crazy is I didn't know that Buc-ee's did not allow trucks, big trucks.
I believe that's true.
I mean, that's really interesting. There's usually 15 jillion cars there, but I mean, that's an interesting decision they made.
I can't believe, and
they still get a lot of money, and that's a big deal. Yeah. So, okay, so one of the other things we're going to talk about this.
You want to talk about my Buc-ee's t-shirt?
What about
I have Buc-ee's t-shirt, a Buc-ee's hat, a Buc-ee's umbrella. I like Buc-ee's. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not even going to say anything. You're the one wearing the tag hat.
I got them all free. I bought them at a benefit for somebody. It was a Buc-ee's basket, so I got all this stuff.
You don't have to admit it.
I know, a Buc-ee's basket.
You don't have to admit it.
I'm way overpaid for that Buc-ee's basket, so it's okay.
Well, that's nice. How much did you pay for it?
A couple $1,000.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay, Brian Harrison refiled a bill because we're now going into special session. The 88th legislative session is over. It ended May 29th. I think it was the 29th or the 27th, and they did not get anything done. I mean, it was ridiculous. So I did not even know that we still have a COVID vaccine mandate in Texas. Yep. I don't know how many people are aware of that, because Texans have pretty much just said, stuck their finger up at it.
You can still lose your job.
Yeah, that was really surprising to me. Brian actually was talking about a lot of things that didn't pass in this session, and he's hoping to see that it might pass. Property tax, he's a big deal. It's a big deal for him on that. That probably won't get looked at this session. But the border patrol, the border control, the border mess that we've got going on is still going on.
Yeah.
But we
you
forgot
don't hear
about
anything
it.
about it.
Yeah, because we're talking about the billionaires in the submarine today.
I know, that's...
So we'll talk about that if we have time later. But maybe we'll talk about that on Lies
It's really
the Truth.
sad.
It's sad, but there was knocking heard, so that they could still be alive. Anyway, we didn't talk. So basically, they didn't look at the executive orders that the governors have in order to pass laws without, just like Biden's gone, roughshod. Now the governors, they can do that in some states. And then also, he had said something about the fact that Chinese nationals or anybody can come in and buy land, particularly even near military bases.
Or nuclear silos.
Yeah, I mean, that's a problem. And he actually said, and I agree, try to go over to China and buy some land. That's not going to happen. So his words that I kind of wraps it all up is like, we don't want to be California. And Texans so long have been kind of just riding on the wave of our conservative reputation. But we need to pay attention to that, because the Californians are moving to Texas and there's a lot of shifting. And when you let people over the border that have their hand out, then that's what you're going to get, is a bunch of people who are going to be like, I'll vote for whoever lets me have my hand out. Sorry, guys, if that sounds rude, but it's the truth. Do you think so? What do you think? So, I don't know what our producer's saying, but down the rabbit hole. Open the paper, but we're also going to talk about Glen Heights had a public safety graduation. 8 residents actually were there. I'm getting there. That graduated, and they said that one of the things they really liked about the Public Safety Academy was that they had the ability to understand what was going on with taxpayers' money. Because a lot of people want to know that.
Yeah, it's good to know where your money's going.
So, and we are still not sure what we're supposed to be paying attention to.
It might be over here.
Woke initiatives are creating division in the U.S. military. Woke initiatives, woke initiatives. Let's talk about that. Right now, we know that the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Justice, they're all like being told. We're being told that they are like weaponized for the government that is really a woke government. That Kennedy dude, John Kennedy, is that his name, the one from Louisiana? He was talking about there is no possible way that anybody can be as incompetent as our administration is right now. There is no possible way.
And they have no problem with it.
Right, exactly. And these people like the Attorney General, the John Ray, the head of the FBI, I can't remember who's the CIA, the one guy, the Homeland Security guy, every time I look at him, I just thank God that I'm not related to him. Myorkis is his name.
Yeah, he frustrates
And he just acts like, I know they frustrate me because they don't think they have to say anything that they don't want to. They think they're above the law. But as long as you have a president who, God bless him.
Okay.
But you don't have to do anything. You really don't. Because you're not being held accountable.
No.
Just like our Texas, legislative, and I guess our Senate did do something about, because my Down the Rabbit Hole column for once, after 40 weeks, I wrote about something local, Texas local, and it's just talking about the things that, they're like trying to say. I actually Googled the other day, how many deaths from COVID, and the AP, owned by Blackrock, Vanguard, State Street, said that there were only 3 deaths that related to the COVID vaccine.
Few more than
I almost fell off my chair laughing. And, Peter McCullough is a doctor here in Texas, and he was talking about all the deaths, and they were saying that he was lying about it. I mean, it's like, really? So, I don't know.
I think if we just get the chip, then we won't have to worry about it.
Right, we can just put it over,
Listen to Elon.
and live in a 15-minute city. Okay, we are having to leave.
Time to wrap it up.
Thank you for coming along for the ride today.
Yeah, it's been a long
joy.
ride. Yeah.
And the weather was horrible today, so there was big flooding.
It was awesome.
Big flooding here in Ferris. Okay, I'm Rita Cook.
Terry Murphy.
We are ECP-TV. Thanks for watching.